May 5, 1945. Austria. With the Third Reich crumbling and Hitler dead, the end of the war in Europe is just days away. Yet high in the Tolian Alps, a centuries-old fortress known as Kassel shelters a spectacle no one would believe. On its ramparts, U.S. soldiers man machine guns, and at their sides, fully armed Wehrmacht troops in field grey, firing shoulder to shoulder against the fanatical 17th SS Panzer Grenadier Division. Leading these two former enemies is Captain John "Jack" Lee, a cigar-wielding American tank commander straight out of a Hollywood script, and Major Joseph Gangal, a loyal Wehrmacht officer who longs only to go home. Together, they defend a small force and the most prized prisoners of the war, French prime ministers, generals, and a tennis legend. This really happened. This is the battle for Kassel, where foes became brothers, and Besotten Jenny, a Sherman tank, stood fast against the SS. The story begins inside Kassel's walls, a lavish prison where Hitler's regime kept honor prisoners, high-profile French VIPs kidnapped after France's fall. Édouard Daladier, once Prime Minister, Paul Reynaud, another former Premier, General Maxime Weygand, ex-commander of the French Army, and Jean Borotra, tennis star and national hero, lived under guard in relative comfort, but in constant distrust of each other and their captors. As April faded into May 1945, the SS guards grew skittish. Sebastian Wimmermer, the Kassel's SS commandant, knew the war was lost. He also knew Himmler's orders: no prisoners were to survive. Faced with advancing American units and fanatical SS detachments roaming the forests below, Wimmermer chose self-preservation. On May 4th, he and his SD troops vanished, leaving the French VIPs free, but stranded on a hilltop, surrounded by die-hard SS troops waiting to massacre anyone who dared surrender. These aging Frenchmen scrounged rifles from abandoned guard posts, but had neither training nor numbers to resist a full SS onslaught. Their only hope lay in an unlikely ally, Major Joseph Gangal, a career Wehrmacht officer who had fought on the Eastern Front and secretly aided the Austrian resistance. Gangal refused to let SS fanatics erase Germany's honor by slaughtering unarmed prisoners. Hearing via a courageous Czech cook's bicycle-delivered warning that the SS would soon storm Kassel, he seized a white flag, hopped into his Kübelwagen, and raced towards American lines, seeking help to defend those French statesmen. A few miles downhill, in the town of Kufstein, the U.S. 12th Armored Division had just rolled in. Captain Jack Lee, commanding the recon troop, rested beside his Sherman tank, Besotten Jenny, cigar in hand, when a German staff car bearing a white flag rumbled up. Lee covered his pistol until the driver, Major Gangal, saluted. In a ragged English, Gangal laid out the desperate situation. French VIPs trapped on the hill, SS coming to kill them. I wish to help save them. Lee studied the German officer, then shrugged. All right, Fritz, let's get them. He radioed division headquarters for permission to launch a rescue, surprising his superiors, but winning assent. Soon, Lee led a peculiar convoy, his Sherman out front, a German truck full of Wehrmacht troops behind, 7 U.S. infantrymen riding shotgun, all together driving into SS territory. They climbed the winding mountain road toward Kassel, encountering SS roadblocks guarded by fanatics who opened fire. Besotten Jenny's 75mm cannon shattered barricades and sent troops diving for cover. The German soldiers in the truck replied with Mauser rifles, clearing the way through the last SS checkpoint. Shells whined and bullets cracked off the stone as Lee's mixed force reached the castle gates. The French leaders emerged onto the battlements, stunned to see not an army, but one Sherman, a handful of Americans, and a group of Wehrmacht soldiers. "Where's the rest of your army?" Daladier demanded. Lee leapt from his tank, grinning beneath his helmet. "This is it." Without hesitation, Lee took charge. He directed the VIPs to take cover, stationed his Americans in the towers, placed Gangel's men along the south wall, and parked Besot and Jenny hard against the main gate. "Gangel, south wall," he barked. "I'll hold the gate." German and American soldiers shared cigarettes and mess kits, checking magazines and machine gun belts. For the first time in 5 years, they trusted one another completely, knowing dawn might bring death for all of them. Morning mist burned away on May 5th as the SS division revealed itself. Nearly 150 hardened grenadiers, armed with machine guns, mortars, and an 88mm anti-tank gun. They opened up on Castle's ancient stones. Daladier, Renault, and Barotra grabbed rifles and fired from windows, even the frail tennis star lending support. The SS-88 lined up on the pitch and blasted Besot and Jenny's front. The Sherman's turret exploded in fire. Lee's crew scrambled out just before the burn began. Their only heavy weapon reduced to scrap. The defenders faced a flood of Nazis pouring in. Captain Lee dashed from embrasure to embrasure, calmly urging his men, "They have to come through the gate. We'll pile them up like cordwood." Hours passed, in a deadly dance of bullets and stone. Ammunition dwindled. The SS prepared to storm the walls. Major Gangel spotted Paul Renault standing exposed on the parapet. He dashed over, shoved the aged premier to safety, and fell himself as a sniper bullet struck his chest. Gangel died instantly, a Wehrmacht officer killed saving a French politician. He was the sole defender lost that day, the unexpected hero of Castle. By midday, the defenders had only a handful of rounds left. The SS charged under cover of smoke, hacking at the gate with explosives. Lee ordered bayonets, fixed, ready for hand-to-hand in the courtyard. German soldiers reloaded empty clips with trembling hands. Then, from the mountain road below, came the unmistakable thunder of engines. Around the bend rolled the 142nd Infantry Regiment, dozens of Shermans followed by infantry in formation. Their guns erupted into a hail of fire, routing the SS grenadiers who scattered into the woods. The siege was broken. American relief troops flooded the courtyard and found Jack Lee, soot-smudged and exhausted. He pulled the cigar from his lips and smirked at the relief commander. "What took you so long?" he drawled. The French VIPs, shaken but alive, were loaded onto trucks and driven to safety. Within 3 days, Germany's surrender was official. For his courage, Captain John Lee earned the Distinguished Service Cross and returned home to New York, where he quietly ran a hotel without ever boasting of Castle. Major Joseph Gangel was laid to rest in Kufstein, honored today with a street bearing his name. The German officer who turned against the SS to save friends and foes alike. The battle for Castle was a mere footnote in the vast war, but it proved a timeless truth. Even in the darkest hour, humanity can triumph. Enemies can become allies, and men can choose right when. The world has gone mad. If you'd like more stories like these, please like and subscribe.